Welcome to the Shepherd Peace Ministries. I'm Nathan Clark. Last night, my wife and I went and saw the movie UnPlanned. This is a movie about a lady who broke free from Planned Parenthood. And the whole time that I was watching this movie, a verse continued to kind of bounce around in my head the whole time. And I'd like to read that verse to you. It's found in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. As I was watching this movie, I realized that I saw things in this movie that I really couldn't imagine. I thought that I was somewhat had an understanding of just how horrible abortion truly could be. But until you see such a thing with your own eyes, it really doesn't hit home like it did when I watched it there on that screen. And when I was watching that, I began to realize that anyone who would see this, unless they're, dare I say, something not quite right with them in their head, could not see how horrific this act against children really is. And then this verse kept rooting around in my head. It's the lack of knowledge. And of course, it also says it's the rejection of knowledge. And we have that layer right there that we have to deal with. But for today, I want to promote knowledge. I want to promote that if we can get the understanding of what actually is happening in this entity called Planned Parenthood, and what actually happens in abortions. Now, the movie only deals with abortions up to 8 weeks. So the movie does show a pretty graphic display of what an abortion looks like. But we have to remember that that was only up to 8 weeks or less. Now we have just legalized in several states abortion up to the time of birth, a full-term abortion. So you can take what you saw there, as bad as it is, and then you begin to magnify what happens as the child begins to get larger. The force and the tools that they have to use to accomplish the same thing. And it truly does give us knowledge. So I'm encouraging everyone to go see this movie. Now, the movie is rated R, and at first you might think, well, this is unfit for my children. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I truly wish that my teenage children wouldn't have to see this movie. In fact, my wife and I went to see the movie as kind of to censor the movie and see maybe it's appropriate or maybe it isn't. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, I don't want my children to see this. And I truly do, I wish that I could sit in my home, sheltered from the world, and be able to say, this will never touch my children, at least while they're under my roof. But see, we're not protected from the world as we would like to be. And we have to weigh that in. The world has legalized that a young girl can go seek an abortion without the consent of a parent and even the knowledge from the parents don't even have to have knowledge that the abortion is going to even take place and has taken place. When that is, we'll say, an infringement upon what I consider to be basic parental rights. I believe that I have a right as a parent to know when my child is pregnant and to know when my child is going to terminate that pregnancy. But because that has been placed upon our children, that forces our hand. And it forces my hand to say, allow my children to see something, because I'm not going to be able to be there. If a mistake is made, I'm not going to be able to be there to protect them. There's no law system that's going to allow me to protect my children from a bad mistake. So they have to have the knowledge. And because they have to have the knowledge to make that decision on their own, which God forbid that they would ever have to, I can't imagine a 15-year-old girl having to make the decision on her own. It blows my mind. But that's what we have today. And because of that, I believe it is imperative that that 15-year-old girl and that 15-year-old boy have the knowledge and understanding of what is truly going to take place with their bodies and what truly is going to take place with the life that dwells within it. So I'm encouraging everyone to go out and watch this movie. This movie is not being advertised well. This movie is being hidden by the left-wing media. This movie is not in every theater. I'm encouraging everyone to call your theater, your local theater. I saw it at the AMC Theater in Springfield, Missouri. I'm encouraging you to call your local theater and tell them you want it in your theater. I'm encouraging, once it comes out on video, to make sure that I think this should be standard watching for public schools, and definitely for a Christian school. This needs to be viewed by as many people as possible, that we can have the knowledge, that we need to get the knowledge out there. So you need to be picking up your phone in your local area, make the calls, spread the message, let people know. We need to get the word out there. Share this video, do whatever you have to do. But we need to support this effort and do everything that we can in our little local area, wherever that might be, and it has to start first in our homes. Let's get this knowledge into the hearts and minds of every person that we can, so that they can see what truly is happening inside those abortion clinics. May God bless you, and have a wonderful day.